Hi, my name is Matthew, and this is the book of Matthew. I wasn't going to make a video until I got back into my truck. I had to go pick up this truck that I'm in because one of our former drivers had abandoned it in Louisiana. But yeah, this, it has to idle because I think there's a electrical draw in it somewhere. So when I picked it up, they needed to replace the batteries in it. So I'm sorry for any excessive noise, but that's just what you have to deal with. The topic of today's video, like I said, I wasn't even going to make a video today, nonetheless, make a video about this particular YouTuber. But my brother had sent me a video from a YouTuber. The name of his channel is The Enemy Within or something like that. If you look at his @handle, it's like I eat cats or some stupid shit like that. But this guy, every time I watch one of his videos, you can tell he's a leftist shill. And the reason why I say that is because he doesn't care what facts are, because he doesn't do any research whatsoever. All he does is he looks around truck stops and he says, these ones are empty or these ones are full. It has to do with Trump. Now, if you've watched my videos before, I've told you that I am not a Trumper. I don't like Trump. I don't like what he's doing with this country. So I'm not a conservative, nor am I a leftist. But this dude doesn't do any research at all. Another thing that pisses me off is the fact that he says, I'm a veteran truck driver. And I've seen in one video, he says he's been out here for 15 years. Another one where he says he's been out here for 10 years. Well, dude, make up your mind, okay? I've been out here since 99. Yeah, he calls himself a veteran truck driver. With 10 or 15 years experience, you are not a veteran truck driver. And even with me being out here 26, 27 years, I don't consider myself a veteran truck driver either. So one thing that he constantly preaches about is truck drivers losing their jobs because of Donald Trump's name whatever you want to say that Trump is doing. There are a variety of reasons why truck drivers are losing their jobs and trucking companies are closing down. I'll tell you one of them right now is because there was a massive influx of foreign people coming here starting trucking companies. And then what happens is they underbid for rates, which if you're not making at least like $2 a mile at minimum on these loads, then you shouldn't be taking them. But these companies come in and they undercut all of the American companies, and that drives all the rates down, because what all these shippers will see is that, okay, well, this company will take it for, $1.50 or $1.20. So they're going to dump off all these trucking companies that want $1.80 or $2 or $3 a mile to haul their stuff. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump's tariffs or what. Although I'll get to that in a minute. But he hasn't been out here long enough to understand that the trucking industry as a whole goes through fluctuations on what type of freight moves better during the year than others. And it seems like this guy has only been a door swinger. Because only somebody who's been out here for 10 years and has never done anything else than backing up to a dock, you know, you don't talk to anybody. All you do is you see who's in office and then you blame them. That's not doing your research. You know what I've done out here? I have hauled grain. I have hauled cattle. I've hauled hogs. I currently pull a flatbed. I've pulled dry van and reefer. I've even pulled for a moving company, like a United Van Lines company. Let's see, what else have I done? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But he doesn't understand that certain times of the year, reefer freight is kind of dropping off, or flatbed freight is kind of dropping off. It depends on what time of year it is. I was hauling cattle for a company that only for 9 months out of the year we hauled cattle, and for 3 months we would haul non-hazardous fertilizer. Although, excuse me, I didn't actually end up hauling the fertilizer, but yeah, for 9 months out of the year, because there's just a drop off in when, you know, cattle hauling, you know, it is just, cattle isn't moving much. So him blaming Donald Trump for everything is way out of line. And like I said, I don't like Trump, but to blame a sitting president for something that he's not doing, being a far leftist shill, is really fucking stupid. I'm sorry for using that kind of language. Another thing, he started talking about the English language proficiency that the Biden administration, and I, if I remember right, I think it was also the Obama administration, had laxed the laws on. And what English language proficiency is that you need to be able to read and speak and write English good enough to where you can read all of the highway signs, literally all of them, without hurting somebody. And there's a reason for that, because if you don't understand certain signs as a truck driver, then you're gonna wreck and you're gonna kill somebody. And there has been a influx in people who have non-domiciled CDLs who can't speak the language and don't understand the language and can't read the signs, who've done dumb things on the freeway. There was some idiot down in Florida who made a U-turn on I think it was I-75 or something like that, and it killed a bunch of people because you just don't make U-turns on a freeway. That's just common knowledge. So yeah, he's out of line with that too. And these companies that are coming in from, or these people who are coming in from other countries, half of them don't speak English. I run into some guy from Russia that hit my bumper, and all he could say was, "Oh, it's not that bad, bro. He's not that bad." I'm like, yeah, that's a $1,500 bumper. Yes, it is that bad. Or I was coming out of a Love's in, I think Wamsutter, Wyoming, and I let the door close behind me, not realizing that there was somebody coming out behind me. And I tried to explain to him, you know, normally, you know, I hold the door open. I'm so sorry for letting it slam in your face. And he's like, I don't understand. Like, what are we even talking about here? Like, if you can't communicate with the general public, and especially DOT ain't gonna have any of that shit. So, the English language proficiency thing is only gonna make things safer for us out on the highway. And he doesn't understand that. Him and his far left brain. And you know what? Another thing that really pisses me off about him is that he he can't have a conversation. I already know this. I haven't spoken to the guy, but he said this in his most recent video, that there is nothing you can say to him or prove to him that will change his mind about Donald Trump and his tariff things and how it's ruining America or anything else. You can't change his mind. Well, that is a reason why I look for facts versus, what I feel when it comes to stuff like this. He is just feeding nonsense. I am so pissed off right now. This guy, he's just a left-wing shill, and another reason why that we can't get any real news anywhere is because everybody has their biases. I watch, or mostly listen to Mother Trucker News, and if I want to get trucking news or information on what, and you know what, we've been losing trucking companies since before Biden took office. So it was happening during the Biden administration and during the Trump administration. So you can't blame Trump for all of this. Now, one thing that is true that he did say is that Trump's tariffs and the farmers, that has totally screwed the farmer. That I will admit that is true. We sell a ridiculous high amount of various different things, like commodities like soybeans and corn and various other of our agricultural products overseas. And then when Trump decided he was going to play with the tariffs and stuff like that, which is totally stupid, he totally screwed the farmers. And that's a fact. I don't care if you like Trump or not. That's just what happened. So yeah, that's like the only thing that left-wing nut job got right. Don't rely on him for why the trucking industry is having woes. He has no idea what he's talking about. Ask somebody who's been in the industry long enough to understand how rates work, how freight moves during each time of year. Don't listen to somebody who has a left-wing or right-wing bias, because you're not going to get the truth out of people like that. That guy legitimately pisses me off. And he always complains about, these magatards come on my channel and they leave comments. Maybe if you were actually telling the truth instead of your opinion on shit, maybe you wouldn't have the MAGA right-wing lunatics come after you. You ever thought of that? God, that fucking moron. Anyways, y'all have a good day.